Hey y'all, Delusions is back. Sorry I've been absent for a while. A lot of things going on, a lot of good things. I've been working on my self-made card game myself. A lot of promising results from that. Done some deck tests, got some decks built, got the mechanics worked out. Got some stuff, got some balancing issues to work on, but down the road I might post something to my YouTube channel about it. Uh, Maybe generate some buzz about it, but figured I'd come back to Carte for a while and share with you guys what I've been doing, what decks I've been messing around with. I've kind of come back to the game with the flair for fun instead of playing seriously. So I've got a deck in each union built. They're pretty solid. I mean, they're not gold worthy, but if I actually sat down, I could probably get to silver with every one of them. But figured I'd start the first one. Show you guys what I've been playing for Syrian. It's actually a revamp of the first deck talk I ever did, which was tokens. So, figured I'd played you guys again and walk through the token deck that I've been playing in Arena. Not so successfully, I'm like at 800, 850 elo, but I have bad games, I have good games, but let's go ahead and get started. My hero choice is just the same as last time, turn on. I do have him level 4 this time instead of level 3. His first ability is level 3. Put one mystical tome into your item zone. This card's pretty good for late game. when when you don't have any wyverns in your hand or something. I mean, it can be a good answer to get your tokens through their defenses, or if there's a big stalemate, it can help break the stalemate early. His second skill is level 5. Give Spirit Echo 1 to creatures you control with level 2 or more. Every single creature I play in the deck outside of Spirit tokens that come into play is level 3 or more. So, if there's a big stalemate and I don't happen to have any Spirit tokens out, and I really need to break the stalemate, I'll go ahead and use this ability. Give all my creatures that have Spirit Echo already another Spirit Echo and just spam the board. I'll attack into their defenders and just clog the board with tokens. Then usually next turn I'll lay a Wyvern for the win. And then his level 3 ability is increase attack power absorption of certain creatures you control with level 1 or less by 1/1 until end of turn. This is the main reason why I do not have him to level 5, is because it costs 4, and then it increases attack power and absorption of Elsyrian creatures by 1, level 2 or less. Well, I don't run any level 2 creatures in the deck whatsoever, so having it cost 1 less to play the ability to give all my tokens out actually proves to be pretty important. Like, say, when I have 7 mana open, I can Wyvern and use his ability in the same turn, and usually Alpha Strike for the win. So the first creature I play is level 3. It's Catwoman. She's a 2/2, and she has Spirit Echo 1. So, yeah, pretty common staple in actually in a lot of Syrian decks. I mean, she's pretty good basic, really easy to get a hold of, so if you're looking to play Syrian, she's pretty easy to get, and 4 of her is pretty strong. The other level 3 I run is for Dryad Shaman. Now, a lot of people may think that her 3/1 is pretty fragile, but believe it or not, the only union that she's really fragile against is Archon. I mean, she's seen her share of dual castings in the past 100 games or so. But the fact that she has skill word is also good, especially against Archon for things like Blast or Alchemist. And I do like the fact that she does have 3 power, because they can get through like Pale Blue Moons, or if they lay level 3 2/3 in their defense zone, like say Fabricator or the 2/3 Angel that's in Psych. So she can get through those pretty easy. There's where Catwoman can't, because she's only a 2/2. Moving to level 4, Forest Wyvern. I run 3 of him. Now, a lot of you are wondering why I only run 3 and not 4, but I'll get on later on to why that's the case, because I run another Wyvern of a particular kind. So, but he's kind of the backbone of the deck. When he comes into play, he can creatures of AP of Elsyrian creatures you control by 1 until end of turn. He's pretty much when I'm trading creatures and Spirit Echoes generating me spirits, and then I lay him. He is what leads my Alpha Strike to usually either kill on that turn or I clear their board out and still have some spirit tokens left, and they got to try to rebuild off of it. The next level 4 I run is for Lion Woman. She's a 2/3 with Shifter and Spirit Echo on. She just came out in 5/1, so she's a relatively new addition to the deck, but I've played her and I absolutely love her, so that's why I run 4 of her. Believe it or not, the Shifter does come in handy, especially against endgame, say, Archon decks or Psych decks, especially that are just spamming elites. You put her in defense, so you can throw their stuff into defense, and then you can deal with it in your own sweet time. So that does come into play. I wouldn't say a lot, but it comes into play more often than not. So, and then the other level 4 I run is Lizard Warrior. I only run 3 of him. He's 3/2 with Spirit Echo. He's a good balance to Lion Woman, just in case if I need that extra attack power to break through, like a Mastermind or something that the Lion Woman typically wouldn't. 'Cause, I mean, her 3 toughness is really good because, I mean, she can block multiple things through the course of a battle, but, I mean, you do need that attack power sometimes too, so that's why I run 3 of him. And he also does have Spirit Echo 1. Like I said, if you can't see a theme for the deck, that's kind of the theme there. So moving on to our level 5, I run 3 Herald of the Forest. It's a 0/1. And when it comes into play, it puts 3 forest spirits into play, which is, like I said, kind of the backbone of the deck, are the 1/1 forest spirits that you're generating. A lot of people are wondering why I don't run 4. I don't like to clog my hand with them, especially early game. Usually when I get to late game, if I need to, I usually have 2 in my hand, or I'll have the other Spirit Echo creature I run at level 5. So I do run, I think I run 12, and was it 9 level 5, so 3 seems to be the good number though. I've been playing with this deck pretty hard, and I've bounced between 3 and 4, so 3 seems to be the good number. Seems to be the sweet spot. Also at level 5, I run a Subterranean Dryad. She's a 4/3 with Spirit Echo. And I used to run Pack Leader in this spot, and he did serve a purpose, but I mean, he there's a lot of times that, he may only be a 3/3, a 3/4, or, I mean, he can be a 4/4, but the fact that she has Spirit Echo too is actually pretty relevant. And the reason I run her instead of, say, like a 4th Herald is because if I do need some beef in defense when I get to late game to fight against, say, like Chimera or Crusading Knights from Psych. So she does give me that option to have a big beefy blocker, and then when she dies, she does give me a Spirit Echo token too. So, like I said, I did run Pack Leaders for a while, but they just didn't seem to flow with the deck quite like she does. So, I might go back to Pack Leaders at some point, but we'll see. At the other level 5 I have is Wyvern of Mountgandar. Now a lot of you may wonder, well, why don't you just run 4 Forest Wyverns and only 2 of him? Well, I've got a lot in the 4 slot as well that I would rather be dropping than him. So, late game, he gets really good because he only gives level 3 creatures or less, 1/1. But, he's in there just for usually just the Forest Spirits are the workhorse of the deck late game, so to push through my spirits, I'll lay him, but he also does bring a Forest Spirit in himself, so even if I have to set him in defense zone, I still get something in the attack zone for later on. So, like I said, it seems to be a good balance between 3 and 3 between him and Forest Wyvern. It may change down the road as I play more games, and I'll keep you guys up to date with what I think, but for now, 3 and 3 seems to be the good number. So, as opposed to the earlier deck that I played, I mean, there are some changes in the main deck for creature-wise. I'm not running in level 1 and level 2, and I start at level 3. The spells that I play is what really mixes it up. So, Residence Trial is a burst for 1 that you get 2 choices. You can either add an additional mana at the beginning of your next turn, or put 1 Forest Spirit into the attack zone. So this kind of acts as my one drop. So usually what I'll usually do is pass a turn with 1 mana open, and then either usually one or two things happens. They play a creature, and if I've got to answer that creature, say like a lesser demon from Cade, or say they play they manage them to play a heretic for Psych, or Syrian plays the new 3/1 Dryad that they got out of the newest set. I can surprise them and put a Force Spirit in and just kill it outright. Or if they don't play anything, I can get that extra mana. Then on my turn, I can mana zone and then just start curving out with my 3 drops. And then just I'm dropping Spirit Echo token or Spirit Echo creatures every turn, and force them to find an answer every turn. So that's how I use it, and so far 4 seems to be the right number. I'm never really sad to see it unless it's like really late game and I need that top deck, but that can be said for a lot of cards. So 4 seems to be the right number, and I'm pretty happy with it. At level 2, at level 2 for Magic, I'm running Provision of Nature. It's also a burst, and it reads: put 1 Force Spirit into your attack zone, give Magic Ward to all 4 spirits you control. As you may notice, as I go down the list, I don't run Fury of the Forest anymore. Because at least, Wyverns are good, even if you don't have any creatures. At least it's something to defend, even if you don't get any bonus off of it. That's where Fury of the Forest is just a dead card. But, I needed an answer to Volcanic Eruption, Desire for Wish, creature abilities that do 1 damage to everything. I needed that answer. Well, not so much abilities from creatures, but I can handle that through turn on 3rd ability if I really need to. But against like Sacred Shock, which has been coming around recently with the rising popularity in discard decks, this just all and outright cancels all magic effects to Forest Spirits, and it doesn't give them skill words. That means next turn I can play a Wyvern, because they'll be so surprised that I gave myself Magic Word, play a Wyvern, and usually swing for the win. So I've had it happen 3 or 4 times where they've tried to play a board wipe on me, and I've stopped it. So, but I was running 2, and I really wasn't happy with only running 2. So one of my crewmates recommended that I bump it up to 3. So I bumped it up to 3, and I've been pretty happy with it ever since. So, and then at level 3 for my Magic slot, I run 2 Wind of Circulation. And this is also a burst. And the reason I run this is because in combination with, say I drop an early Catwoman or an early Shaman, and then I swing with it at a creature, and when I kill it, and they don't block it, I can give my creature Spirit Echo 2, and then trade with your creature, and then I'm getting 3 tokens per turn. What even makes this more powerful is if I play with a shard that I'll get to later on, it gives my creature Spirit Echo 1, and there's been terms when I'll swing with a Catwoman after I've played the shard, it's already got Spirit Echo 1 twice, play this, and I'm popping out 4 spirits for 3 mana. So, it's a pretty good exchange. I haven't been really sad about this. Plus, if they go to attack into something and I can play this on a defender, they won't see it coming. And then here's the other level 1 that I run is Rest of Forest, and I run 3. A lot of Syrian decks can't get away with running 3 of these, just for the sheer fact that they've recently nerfed the card a little bit to where you need 9 or more creatures in your graveyard. With some Syrian decks, it's really kind of hard because they play more mid-range, so by the time you get 9 creatures, either the game's over or you never see 9 creatures in your graveyard. But with spirits, it's pretty common to have 12, 15. And there's some games that I end up with 25 spirits in my graveyard just from all the spam that I've done and trading in creatures and going back and forth. So, it's not uncommon for me to pop 2 of these traps in a game. Sometimes I'll pop all 3. So, 3 seems to be the right number though. So, you draw 2 cards if there's 9 or more creatures in your graveyard. So, it helps to refill your hand when you're trading blows late game. And then the last card I run is Hideout of Lightning. It's a card you don't see very often, and a lot of people are might be curious as to why I run it. With all the spirit spam I got going on, it really works well with tricks that your opponent might have, like like you attack with one of your big creatures, one of theirs, and they try to block with a 1/1 or something, you can axe one of your spirits off to kill that little 1/1, and then still kill the other big creature off. And plus, when you get to late game, the second ability on it, which is level 4, is where you put one force spirit into your attack zone. When you're both just trying to top deck, this gives you something to sink your mana into, so you're not just sitting on 10, 12, 14 mana. It gives you something to put it into it. Yeah, so 2 seems to be the right number. If I tend to draw 2 early game, I'll either refresh it away or I'll mana zone it to try to get ahead of my opponent. And that's the good thing about tokens is that you can get ahead pretty easily because you're trading creature for creature a lot of the time, but you're getting something out of it, and they're not usually. So the first land I run is Fences Orchard. It's when the shard is set to the shard zone. Give Spirit Echo 1 to a creature I control with 3 or more levels. This is pretty common in my deck because everything in my deck is either 3 or more outside of the Spirit tokens themselves. So, I swing with a Catwoman after I've played this shard and I get 2 tokens instead of 1. Or like I said earlier with Winds of Circulation, it's a good combination. Play the shard, swing with the Catwoman, swing into one of their 2/2s, and then play Winds of Circulation before damage goes through. So then you get 4 little 1/1s and take out their creature. The other thing you really have to be careful with is don't play it on Dryad Shaman because of skill ward, and trying to use it on a skill ward creature will just cancel it out. So the second land I run is Gemstone of Hope. It's when you play it, you draw an extra card. You don't draw the card right away, but you'll draw 2 at the beginning of your next step, and then you put a 0/1 Sea to Sienna into play. This is just good because everything in my deck, gets pumped up, and it's a level 1, so even Tron's third ability will hit it, so just getting a free 0/1 that you can use for fodder later on is pretty good. I run 4 Land of Silences just because I don't have an early game outside of maybe a Residence Trial for a token, so being able to shut down any level 1s they decide to throw out while you get your defensive setup is pretty good. Yeah, it deals 1 damage to you, but that really more often than not doesn't hurt you enough. And being able to shut down their level 1s is pretty good. So, and I do run 4 of those as well. The last Syrian land I run is Silent Lair, and I only run 3 of these. 4 seems to be overkill. Items, believe it or not, is not really a big deal for at least from when I've played against for tokens, just because of the fact that if you throw something in and block and they kill it with their item, you can you get a 1/1 out of it, so then you can attack back next turn. Or if they go and kill a 1/1, I mean, good for them. They wasted their weapon activation on killing a 1/1 Forest Spirit. But I do still run item hate just for the sheer fact that I do like to shut down their items if I want to have the option to, and it frees up my mana to play a Wyvern or something else that turn instead of having to kill an item. Then the other land I run is the Arena Shard. Just about anybody who's played Carte past beginning stages has seen this shard, and I do run for it. Just the fact that if you're on the draw, it's really good because it can help you offset the fact that they're a turn ahead because you get that extra mana. So, thing is, usually if you're gonna copy the deck, or at least try to play it yourself, don't play it on the first turn because there's not a lot you can do with it. Even if you've got the trap, save it when you can drop that, that Catwoman or the Dryad Shaman a turn earlier. Especially after you play a Residence Trial, that way you don't have to mana zone, you can just play the shard, get that extra mana, and then start curving out from there. I play the same 4 tarots for basically every deck I play. The first one's Fool. Just because I've seen the Fool mess people up sometimes, if they bounce a creature back to their hand and you want to get rid of it, or if they're setting up for something good, like if they play a Gravekeeper of Vigaris and you think they have the Necromancy in hand, just the cards of their hand make them draw. Or what I'll do is really funny is I was playing a game against Summon Evil, and he played 2 turns and didn't play anything. So I'm like, wonder if he's playing Summon Evil. So I fooled and dumped 3 of the 4 Summon Evils out of his hand into the graveyard. So, but it's also another refresh as well. So that's why I like it. The Hangman. Believe it or not, the only reason I run this anymore in almost every deck I play is because there's a lot of people running it in Arena right now. So I run it as a counter. Because with tokens, I gotta keep attacking when it gets to the late game, and if they try to shift all my stuff into the back when I got like 20 spirits out, it's gonna hurt. So I like the fact that if I have the ability to shift it back. So, every once in a blue moon, I'm gonna want to shift their attackers to defense. Like if I'm playing against Rush and they're just absolutely, outrushing me, and I need to buy a couple turns. Herman, pretty straightforward. Draw 3 cards for 4. If you're trading blow for blow and you're starting to run low on cards, pop it at the end of their turn and hope to pop into that Wyvern or, those couple extra blockers that you're going to need. And then the Hierophant is the last card I have for my tarots, and it just pretty much each player gains an additional refresh. I hate playing when I'm on the play and only have that 1 refresh. Getting that second refresh is usually a lot better than giving, the other guy 3. So, having the ability to get that extra refresh is usually pretty good. So, that's my new take on tokens. Like I said, I'll be bringing you guys hopefully more videos as the weeks go on, and I slide back into doing it. So, hope you guys enjoyed it. And if you got any questions or any comments, go ahead and leave them underneath the comment section on YouTube, or hit me up in game as Delusions. And hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks a lot.